Hi, my name is Katie. I'm posting this video because my son, Leon, was born with a VSD, and I saw some videos that other people had posted of their children post-op and how well they were doing and everything, and I thought that was like really reassuring and helpful to know what to expect after the surgery. But I just wanted to post a video about the whole process leading up to the surgery and the diagnosis itself, because I felt that was really stressful, and I didn't see a lot of videos of people sort of telling their stories as to what happened leading up to just different things to expect. So I wanted to post this really quick. My son Leon was born in July of 2018, and he was diagnosed with a perimembranous VSD at 1 month old. Basically, when he was a newborn at the hospital, his first visit by the pediatrician had said he had a loud heart murmur. And I'm a nurse, and I knew that that was pretty normal for a newborn baby to have that. So I didn't think much of it. At his 1 week appointment with the pediatrician, she said, it's still kind of loud, so we're going to order an echocardiogram. I thought that that was kind of excessive, but, I was thinking, oh God, I'm going to have to hold my kid down and have this stupid test done. But we had it done, and about a week later, I got a phone call saying that he had a VSD. And at the time, I was thinking in my head, oh, it's a PFO, not really listening to her, because PFO is something that is pretty normal for newborns to have, that usually closes on its own. But I knew that sometimes adults have them closed later on in life and that they don't cause any problems. So I actually ended up calling her back and asking her to repeat what it was. And she said VSD, so I had to look this up. And the particular kind that Leon had is a perimembranous VSD. So his septal defect was kind of up high in the ventricular chambers, sort of up by the valves in the membranous sort of area. She told us that it wasn't life-threatening and that we have to go to a cardiologist to have it evaluated. So we went ahead and did that. And basically the cardiac pediatrician explained that it was 4 to 5 millimeters, and that he's making some noise back there. That is 4 to 5 millimeters, and that he will have congestive heart failure like symptoms because of the increased blood flow to his lungs. He explained that these babies can have up to 300% more blood volume to the lungs than a normal infant should get. And that we should watch out for things like blueness and difficulty breathing, respiratory infections, things like that. And so it was really scary at first because we didn't know what to expect, and he was very young at the time. So basically we had a 2-week appointment on and on, over and over. So the first appointment we went to, he said we weren't going to change anything, that he was kind of small, but we were going to keep track of it. By the second 2-week appointment, he had us try a higher calorie formula because he wasn't growing enough. And they explained that this was one of the big problems with these infants, is that they don't grow as quickly and they tend to not keep up with the growth curve because their heart is not is working harder than it should. So those extra calories that should go towards growth end up going towards the heart and its work. So we tried the higher calorie formula. I believe it was 23 cal. The next 2-week appointment, he had us go on Lasix twice a day and increase the formula again. Still wasn't growing. The next appointment, he put him on digoxin and Lasix twice a day and increased the formula again. And I believe we were up to 27 calorie. And then by the time he went to his next one, he had dropped to the first percentile for his weight. So then he did the surgical consult. It was really stressful. I do work in an OR, so I felt like I had a little bit of help with the reassurance part because of people knowing the surgeon. and being able to get good recommendations from people. But he did go into Christ Advocate to get his VSD closed. The surgery took about 3.5 hours. They put in a small patch that almost feels like a piece of leather, like a thin piece of leather. When he came out, he was extubated. He had a Foley catheter, a rectal probe. He had probes, like probe stickers on his head and on his back. He had a chest tube in the middle of his chest, where the incision site was. The incision site was actually not the full length that a sternal incision usually is. It was actually more of like a minimally invasive length. So that was kind of nice. And then he had a peripheral IV, a central line, and a art line in his groin. He was only in the hospital for 3 days, which I thought was pretty amazing. He did get some IV pain medications, but most of the time he ended up getting nothing that was not, it was mostly non-opioid. So it was like mostly Motrin, ibuprofen. And so now that he's home, he does have some restrictions on how he can be lifted. We're not supposed to lift him by underneath his arms for 6 to 8 weeks. And he is actually still on Lasix. He's on a higher dose right now. So we're going to see if he, when that's going to be taken off. But, they just said don't take him around large crowds for a month. Don't lift him by his arms for 6 to 8 weeks. He can do tummy time. Keep with the higher calorie formula until he gets back on track. And pretty much this whole thing has been has gone very well. He doesn't seem to be in pain. Probably the biggest issue when we got home was that he had a lot of abdominal pain from his bowels being so slow, from like the antibiotics, and all that. So really, it's been a really good experience. He's, acts like pretty much nothing has happened, that he's pretty much back to normal. And we're just really, really impressed that this has gone so smoothly and that he's a very happy, normal kid. And hopefully he gets back on track with his growth. I heard that he's supposed to, since the issue has been solved. And we're looking forward to spending lots of time with him. So I hope this was helpful for people, looking for some information about VSDs and what to expect regarding the surgery and leading up to it. So good luck to you all. Thanks.